Hello crafty friends, this is the Papered Chef here. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to mount these cling stamps to acrylic wrap blocks. Now this morning, I got an email from one of my customers and she said, and I won't use her name, but she said, this may be a silly question, but how do I mount my stamps to the acrylic blocks? Okay, and it's not a silly question at all. And I figured if you have that question, then maybe others have that question as well. So I'm addressing this. This is dedicated to anyone who has bought a new stamp set and doesn't know how to begin. Okay, so there's one thing we've come out with this year is they're called cling stamp sets, okay, by Stampin' Up. Now I'll compare, after I get started and show you some cool stuff, then I'm going to go back and compare this to some of our older stamps and kind of see how they compare. All right, so first of all, I hardly even mount mine to the acrylic blocks, but I know that beginning stampers really need to do this. I started to do this because sometimes you need to be able to do it to be able to see the sentiment. All right, so let's start out with why I don't mount them or why I got used to not mounting them, okay? In the past, they didn't make good stickers for them. So if you put the stickers on them, they wouldn't stay on the blocks anyway. Okay, all I need to do is take them out of the container. I still have one that's on the mold here, so I'm going to show you start to finish with this one. But you take them out, you take the sticker off, and I just stick the foam right onto the acrylic block like that. Okay, I'm going to show you how that works, and then I'm going to go ahead and mount the sticker on. Okay, so let's get an envelope. These are Whisper White mini note cards and envelopes, and I'm going to use here Night of Navy. Okay, so first of all, the short answer is you really don't need to. You don't even need to mount them to the stamps. You can just put them right on the acrylic block. But then I'm going to show you what I do and then what you should do. Okay, so then I tap, tap, tap. I like how the stamps already have built-in texture to them. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp. I'll stamp the anchor at an angle, because when I try to stamp it straight, it doesn't quite fit. Okay, so there we go. So you don't need to mount them and it works. But let's go ahead and mount them. Let's go ahead and put the stickers on them anyway. Okay, so I'm going to show you how we could do that. And I'll show you the advantages of putting the stickers on them, especially when you have text stamps. So I'm just wiping that off. And if you have text stamps, you want to see the sentiments, it's good to put the stickers on them. All right, so now I've cleaned it off a bit, just so I don't get ink all over my hand. And I also have like a little Stampin' scrubber tool, but I just wiped that off real quick. All right, so now we're going to take, let's close, or I don't need to close the ink. I'm just going to put it over there so I don't accidentally ink myself. We're going to take these stickers that came with the stamp set. Okay, so here they are, and you turn them over, and then they're slit to get them off easy. Okay, so you bend it, and you pull the sticker off. Okay, pull both off. So now you have a very, very sticky side. So these cling stamps are double sticky. They're sticky on this side and they're sticky on the other side. So the way I mount them is I peel that off. Let's make this flat. Put it on a flat surface. Take your stamp. Okay, take that side and just put that right onto your sheet. Okay, that's how I do it. So let's put that right onto the sheet. And that way you can get it centered perfectly. And if you mess up, you just pick it back up and try again. I'm going to do this to my whole set, so you're going to get a chance to see this again and again, and we'll even use it after we do it. Okay, so now we have a mounted stamp. It have the sticker on it. Okay, and now we go like that. Okay, and now we have another sticky side. So these are super, super sticky. I'll compare that to ones from the past. So let's stick that onto the block. And now you have a really, really tight grip. Now it's not going to make a difference in how we stamp or what we do. So let's go ahead and put an anchor on there. I'm just going to take it another. I'm using coordinating colors with, by the way, this stamp set is Sailing Home. And in the bundle, Come Sail Away, we have coordinating colors, such as Night of Navy, Mossy Meadow, Soft Suede. So when I'm doing things in this example, I may as well just make some cool things that I have them ready, to use, because they coordinate. Okay, so there's Soft Suede. So there's the anchor. Okay, it didn't make a difference if I mounted it or not, but now it's mounted and you can't get it off. So you're never getting this off. You're never getting this sticker off. And so now a lot of people, let me just go ahead and wipe that off for a second. A lot of people take that little tool we have called the Take Your Pick tool. It's like a little spatula in it, and that's how they get these off of the blocks. They're so tight and they're so sticky that you have to get under there to get them off. Other times I've seen people use washi tape. I'll probably do a whole stamping course or something, but I can show you all the different techniques. You put a little piece of washi tape down, stick this down, and then when you peel the washi tape off, this will come off the block. Okay, but it's real sticky, and it comes off now that I've peeled it off. That's only because I got the edges loose. But to get that off, it's a little hard. All right, so let's do a couple more. And I did them, and then I just store them like that. I just store them back on the, I just stick them to the lid. The reason I started putting my stickers on this set was because I was having a hard time keeping the sentiment straight. And so having the stickers on there is an advantage because it looks like it would be straight, but it's not. So now I have this sentiment sticker, and I know how to line that onto my page. Okay, so we're going to do the lighthouse next. Okay, and this is called Clear Block Eye. It fits the lighthouse perfectly. So we're going to put that on there, clear block. So I just peeled it off. I bound it on there. Okay. Oh, actually, we're actually gonna put the sticker on that one. I told you I'd show you how to put some more stickers on in case you didn't get a good angle. So let's go ahead and put the sticker on the lighthouse. Again, you don't need to. I usually don't. My students are asking, so I need to start teaching people the right way, which is the way Stampin' Up recommends, and they recommend putting these stickers on there. So I kind of go rogue with a lot of things I do. If you've been watching my channel, you know that I just kind of do my own thing. All right, so there you go. That's how I do it. I stick it onto the sheet, I peel it off, and there is my double-sided cling stamp. It's perfectly centered that way. And now when I put it on here, it's really tight, it's really nice, and let's go ahead and stamp something. Will that fit? No, let's get a piece of, we'll get a bigger piece of Whisper White. Okay, and you're gonna just, see, there you go. We'll use this color. This is called Balmy Blue. And whenever you're stamping, I like to have like a little assembly line, and you have, here's a piece of Whisper White. And I like to we'll compare those. I like to just do all my cutting, all my stamping, then my embellishing, and put my cards together. Especially if I'm making swaps and I have to make a lot of the same thing. It just helps me in my productivity. So we put the ink, here we go. We put the ink over here, and this is called the Night of Navy, one of the coordinating colors. The lighthouse looks good in Night of Navy. Plus, it has some water on it, so that's kind of cool. And I'm going to put that, I'm just going to put it in the center of this piece of Whisper White, because I can always trim it down if I need to. Okay, I just tap, tap, tap onto the ink. I hold it for a few seconds. Look at the texture that's already built into this stamp set. Super, super cool. And they're coordinating dies as well. So who knows, maybe I'll cut that out with the dies. I don't know, I'm not there yet. Every card I make is usually different unless I'm making swaps. Okay, I tap, tap, tap. I touch it down. Okay, good deal. Now that needs a layer behind it. It needs something else. We'll put the ink over there because we're going to use it again. So now let's wipe that, or I don't need to wipe it off. I'll wipe it off later. I like to save my viewers lots of time. I don't want to make you wait for me to do every little step. Okay, so now let's see if this is already mounted. So we'll do the compass wheel, compass rose. We'll do the compass rose. I'm going to peel off the back. Now, this is if you care, if it's like east and west, like, I mean, you might need to, like this says east, okay? So in this case, this is a little tricky because how will I line up the east when I can't even see what's on there? I could see the compass roses like that. Oh, there I go, I can see it. It's pretty tricky, but it's kind of hard. So there you go. So this one's kind of tricky. So you'd have to like line up, there's the compass rose and there's the east. You might not be able to see that. I can barely see it. So that's if you care which way the stamp comes out, but it's a circle. I don't think it should matter. And I'm going to mount that on there. Okay. And now I'm going to peel that off, and it's very, very sticky. Mount it onto to there, and let's use some Mossy Meadow. Now that's soft suede. I know I have Mossy Meadow here. Okay, and we're going to use that one for the Compass Rose because I think it looks good. And I'm going to show you stamping and off stamping. So let's go ahead and stamp. I usually don't waste my first stamp. I usually stamp and then I do another stamp off. So we'll put a stamp there on the envelope, and then I also like stamping off, meaning stamping off one more time. So before I don't even have to ink it up, I stamp one more time. I just like the way this looks better when you stamp off with this kind of vintage stamp. Okay, so that's what that looks like, and I think I'm already in the makings of a card with that, you know, which were pretty cool, using several colors. Yeah, I always have something going on. So let's show my crafty friends. So I already have, like, that's a stamping off, and it says "You are my true north," and then here's one I did, "You are my true north" with the lighthouse. So stay tuned because I'll probably do a video with loads and loads of projects I make with this suite after I go on my what's called my crafting binge, because I always like make a lot of things with the same suite, and I've already started mailing off things, but you'll get to see what else I made. All right, so did we finish mounting the stamps? No, let's finish, because if you have a project and you're starting, you want to finish. So here is a sailboat. Okay, peel those off. Oh, and by the way, don't get rid of the sheet when you're done, because this sheet has a little thing on it that says "Sailing Home," the name of the stamp set. I usually save the sheet, because at least you want that, because it might help you for your categorizing of your stamp sets later. Okay, I peeled the stamp set off. I peeled the sheet off. I'm going to lay this onto it. A flat surface works, but again, I'm just using my stamping block as my flat surface. Okay, it's sticking. I peel it off. There it is. By the way, if you wanted these to be less sticky, you could put a little bit of lint on them, but I wouldn't recommend it, because honestly, you want to keep them flat, and you don't want to put anything on it and make it lumpy. So I think it's just good the way it is. It might be too sticky at first, but over time they won't be as sticky. But I do like these new cling stamps. And let's go ahead and stamp. Why not? I have the Mossy Meadow out, so let's use the Mossy Meadow. And by the way, these are called Memories and More Card Pack. I showed you how to get these in a starter kit in a recent video, so check out that starter kit video, because we have a cool special going on. Okay, that's how to stamp. Okay, again, simple. Okay, now we'll do the rope. I'm going to peel that off. This one came off easy this time. Yay! The rope looks like it hasn't been mounted yet. Put that down for a second. Here's the rope. I'm just finishing up my set. It'll help my viewers question, and it'll help me finish mounting my set. So I don't have all my sets mounted, but hey, we're getting it done. We're showing viewers. All right, so it's all good. Okay, I'm just making that one closer as I do it. And there we go. And when I do the rope, I like to go like, well, it doesn't matter how I do it, but I like to put the rope, I like to put it across something. So if you have a small, like, bookmarker piece of paper, it looks cool going across it. And the rope you can even make a long rope by attaching these. It's okay. Let's just put it on. I'm just going to go ahead and put it on an envelope, because I like to stamp with everything I mount, just to make sure I mounted it right and it's not crooked and everything. Okay, and you can line that up too. If you want to keep going, you can line up the ropes, but I'm not going to, because I don't want to get ink on the side. I don't have a pad down. And by the way, you should get it like yourself a mat. This is like my little mat I use for stamping, and it helps if your table is not flat. In fact, we'll do that for the last one. We'll put the mat down. All right, foam mat, rubber mats, whatever you get, just something to keep everything flat. So again, I'm going to save this piece of paper only because it has that title in it, Sailing Home. So for the last one, I want to show you start to finish. Now you get your stamps, and you have them. They come like this. Okay, so it's a big piece of rubber. These are called the cling stamps. Again, this is the newest stamps by Stampin' Up. They're called cling stamp set. Okay, I'm showing you how to mount a cling stamp set. That's going to be the title of this video. But if you stick around to the end, I'm going to compare this to other types of stamp sets. Okay, so look, you take it out of the rubber. Okay, I'm just showing you start to finish. So there's no mystery here of how I got here. You peel off the rubber. I mean this backing. You can throw all these away. I do say to save the piece of rubber, because some people think it's better to store it in this rubber. If you ever want to sell your stamps, for some reason they've asked me, do you have the piece of rubber? And I'm like, yes. because I'm a hoarder, but I don't know why they want it, but they want it. So anyway, I keep that piece of rubber in case you ever want to sell your stamps. Okay, so peel that off like that. Again, lay that down. Take your rubber stamp, put that on top of there. Okay, it wasn't quite centered. Oops, but it's already sticking. So there's a good troubleshooting tip. So if it's already sticking, but it's not quite centered, do it again. Because you need this to be centered because this is going to be your frame of reference. Oh, the foam's already ripping off. That's how tight it is. You know what? I'm going with it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, but if it's not quite right, I have to trim. So instead of trying to fight it because the sticker is so sticky that it started ripping my phone, instead, I don't care that I got a little extra on the edges. So what I'm going to do, heck, this is good because I get to show you how to troubleshoot. I'm cutting the extra sticker off like I actually would because I don't like when it flaps over the edge. It drives me crazy. In fact, that's why I hardly use the stickers. But in this case, it's really good to use the stickers because this stamp set has a lot of cool sentiments, and to get them straight, you need the stickers. Okay, you put that down on the stamping block. You can use any size stamping block for any stamp as long as it fits in your stamping block. So if you get a big stamping block, if you can only afford one, I say get the eye for this set because the eye stamping block will hold every single stamp in the set. So this is called eye. Look how thick it is, and it holds that lighthouse. Okay, tap, tap, tap on the mossy meadow. Let's get a whisper white envelope. See, you guys are helping me get my crafting projects done. There you go, and I stamp onto the envelope. Okay, so all my stamps were mounted correctly, and now you can clean them and put them back. And when I put them back, I just stick them on the inside of my case. That's what I do. The red dot just means it's a current stamp set. This is for me because so many things come and go and retire, and you got to get them while you can. All right, so without further ado, let's talk about some other kinds of stamp sets. Now wood, I don't have any right here to show you, but the only wood stamps we're selling right now are giant background stamps. That's all we're selling in wood. We've got away from wood because there's so much room, and people are running out of room for crafting, and these kind of stamp sets are thin, and they just started they've been selling these, so we kind of got away from wood unless it's a big giant background stamp. All right, so this is the kind of stamps that a lot of you may have. So let's talk about these. Let me just get a stamping block, okay? Stamping block, talk about these. These are called acrylic or photopolymer stamps, okay? To get these to stamp, and they get stained. Okay, by the way, advantages, thin, easier to see through. The biggest advantage is I love these because you can't help but line it up easy. Okay, that's the advantage. You see right through it. You line it up on your page easier than lining up the rubber because there's something in the way. You can't really see where the anchor is exactly. But when you have a photopolymer stamp, you can see it. The disadvantage, of course, is it stains. Okay, so you can see how I stained it when I used some of those colors. Okay, but to mount them, you peel them off. And if you use, by the way, Memento ink, it doesn't stain. Mount them, because that was the question from my viewer, my customer. She also asked me, how do you mount paper pumpkin stamps? When you get a paper pumpkin kit, they come in photopolymer like this. You just peel them off and you mount them, and that's it. Tap, 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 ink, 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 and then clean them right away because they're going to stain. Well, it doesn't matter. Clean them right away or don't clean them right away. They're going to stain if you use certain kinds of ink. When I use my Memento ink, it does wash right off. It doesn't stain. Some of my other colors do. Okay, so that's called photopolymer. Another example, photopolymer, Daisy Delight. There's my Daisy Delight. There's a Daisy Punch too. Okay, now then you have what's called, these are just called, oh gosh, let me think of the name of them. I don't know, they when it doesn't say cling, okay, or when you have, if you have these from the past and here you go, let me just show you this, okay. If it doesn't say cling stamp, then you have this kind of stamp. And I got it, so it's this kind of stamp, and it's just called a rubber stamp. I guess it's just called rubber stamp. So you can see the reason I didn't mount the stickers before. Okay, let me show you that, okay. So this is called Crafting Forever. And you get the rubber stamp, and I even used a couple of them. Okay, these are the ones I've been using. Okay, so here. The reason I didn't mount them is because they're only sticky on one side. See that? No stick. That means it's not cling. So in other words, if I were to put this on here, I can just show you. I can just show you what I mean. It has a stick on one side. the older stamps. So you go like this and you stick it on, and then what happens is you're like, what the heck? So here, I'm gonna go ahead and put it on just to show you what I mean. So if you put this old style stamp on there, this doesn't stick. These are not cling. Okay? Now look, doesn't stay on there at all. Falls right off. And you're like, what the heck? And so I myself was in the same boat. My customers asking me 3 years ago when I got stamps like this, I wrote to my team leader, Hattie, and I said, what is up with these? How in the world am I supposed to get these to stick onto the block? I'm like, I got ripped off. And she's like, no, you need two-way glue. Okay, so you have to put two-way glue there, and you have to sit there and go, let it dry, and it gets less tacky, and then it becomes like those cling stamps, but it's all lumpy, and then you stick it to your block, and I'm like, why in the world would anyone do that? That's ridiculous. So I was like, I'm not doing that. So I just never did it, did my own thing, as I always do. I leave the stickers on here. They stick on one side. I keep the stickers on the inside of the case. The other side, I just stick right onto the block. It sticks just fine, just like the cling stamps do. Why do I need to go through all that making a sticker stick? So I think Stampin' Up! Heard the message loud and clear, like, what the heck is up with these stickers? And they came up with cling stamps, which the rubber is still the same quality, but now we have a cling stamp. So when you see cling stamp, go ahead and mount the stickers onto them. Here's another one. I use the piggy like crazy, and see how I've cut up my piggy, this little piggy. I've even cut the sentiments off because I do a lot with my ScanNCut, scanning the images. Yay for my favorite stamp set. So this is also that rubber stamp set. Okay. And if I find an actual name for it, then I'll definitely I'll let you know. This is the Magical Mermaid. Again, I don't put the sticker on it because the stickers are not double-sided. And again, Beautiful Day stamp set. I don't put the stickers on because they're not double-sided. But so if you see cling stamp, you should put the stickers on them. Mount the stickers on them if you see cling stamp. And if you have an older style, because it's sticky on both sides of the sticker, if you have an older style, don't do that. And links in the description of what stamping block I used and some of the materials I showed you today. Some of the